Welcome to Essays for Youth. I'm Stephen Tubbs with the legend Bob McAdams. So great to be here with him as we continue our series here. Today's topic is a cost of freedom. A popular saying today is freedom is not free. It implies that we have paid in blood, fighting several wars to, of course, keep our freedom. There is another important meaning to the saying, though. The cost of freedom is responsibility. Americans are proud of their freedoms, aren't we? Particularly freedom of speech. But should that mean Americans should say anything that they actually want to say? Should there be no regard for speaking only the truth, avoiding rumors and non-truths whenever possible? Or for speaking in a way that does not intentionally offend one another? Or for speaking without vulgarities? Responsibility means that one holds himself or herself accountable for their actions. Recently, a president of a large company invested much of his company's money in stocks that failed. He could have said, "It's not my fault. My advisors told me the stocks were sure to make money." But he said, "I had the freedom to make the choice and was the one who gave final approval to buy the stock. It's my fault." With that, he resigned. Responsible people do accept the blame that is due to them. There is still another way which our freedoms require the responsible actions. Americans are free to earn as much money as they're capable of earning. In a competitive system like the one we have, people may earn large sums of money while other people obviously remain poor. This is true for other nations as well. While America may not be the richest nation in the world, it is richer than many, and there are many poorer ones out there. So who should take responsibility for helping the poor people and poor nations of the world? Americans, we have many, many freedoms. Let's hope we continue to pay for them, not with bloodshed and costly wars, but with the responsibilities that come with freedom. There are so many things there, and first and foremost, you as a World War II veteran, there's nobody I know in my life that knows that freedom is not free. Talk about that.
The freedom that I got was helped by, believe it or not, the Russians, because they liberated us from the prison camp. And so, the idea that we're lucky enough to have a lot of freedoms, and we can misuse them very easily because we think there's no limit to what we can do, and we have to think about that. You have to limit the kinds of things you do with your freedom, and so I hope that raises a thought for our youth.
Well, I think when you say limit, I think it's exactly as you wrote, that it's responsible. You have to, be responsible for freedom of speech. Yeah, anybody technically can say anything in our country, whereas in Russia or other parts of the world, maybe North Korea, you cannot say just anything you want, but there is a responsibility because that comes to my words can hurt you, as simple as that sounds, right? Talk about it.
Well, I don't know. I can't say it any better than you said it, really.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. When it comes to realizing that our freedoms today came at such a high price, I'm sure over the years consistently, if you let your mind go there, you can remember your training in the military. You can remember when you were shot down. You can remember what you were forced to eat and your freedoms taken away as a prisoner of war. Do you think that from people my age, your age, our younger audience, do we sometimes take our freedoms for granted?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, and we shouldn't. And we should take the responsibility that goes with having freedom and limit what we say and do to pretty much the truth and the proper things all the way.
Final question in this segment. Share just a quick anecdote, and we've talked with you briefly about it before, but you were in Stalag Luft 1 in Barth, Germany, and this is after being shot down, and I know you took to a pencil and paper to write down your thoughts, and you probably still can remember what it was like not to have the freedoms of simply going outside and taking a walk talk. I mean, we do sometimes, unfortunately, take these things for granted.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, because I had some responsibility to try to pass on that scene of being in prison and what it meant and that sort of thing. And I was lucky enough to get a couple of YMCA composition books, you know, the blue ones, and I went ahead and wrote down what I think was important, because I wanted my future generations to know that freedom is important, and I didn't have it at the time, and I wanted it. So I took the responsibility to tell a little bit about how important it is.
Final thought. Looking back, and I've seen with my own eyes your original, what you wrote, and by the way, excellent penmanship. It was incredible. How incredible was that you were writing so eloquently, not only with your words but your style, and you were in a living hell. But can I just ask you how important you feel it is to maybe keep a journal or write your thoughts down? Because so many of our younger folks, and I get it, but you're on your cell phone and you're on the computer, but sometimes writing it out in hand, it may be you know, kind of an old school way, but it's important.
Oh, it certainly is, because, you know, with time, something that you've experienced changes in your own mind, because you know, you get new information and everything. I didn't want it that way. I wanted it to reflect as much as possible what was happening right then at that time.
He is Bob McAdam. I'm Stephen Tubbs, and you need to see the film he is in called 25 Steps. We'll talk about that, perhaps at another Essays for You. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.